Honestly, earlier, I was gonna have a green background with my green shirt for my spoiler-free review to represent Luigi, and then I was gonna do a red and red for Mario for my spoiler review, but genuinely, I have a lot of green thumbnails and other things, and I thought blue and red might be better, but now in retrospect, no it wasn't. Oh well. Yo, my name is Montero, and thank you for joining me on my journey to watch every movie ever created. Not really, but we are gonna get close. Welcome to my very first spoiler review. Kind of. This is gonna be fun. I already made a spoiler-free review, so please go check that out as I talk about the movie as a whole there, and we're gonna cover characters and that post-credits scene here. So this is a kind of a spoiler review. It is definitely spoilerific, so this is your warning. If you have not seen the Super Bros movie, do it and then come back. Or don't and continue, but you've been warned. If you get mad at me, I will ignore you. Where do we begin? Mario is a wannabe Gary Stu. In fact, he kind of is a Gary Stu. He simply does nothing wrong ever throughout the movie. Everything bad in this movie happens at him instead of to him. I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of the dad not approving the son storyline. And it's even brushed off so quickly, it is as if they checked it off and said, yep, here's our human relatability element. Not really. Not really. None of the characters are built up well, and we simply get thrusted into their lives and are teased some things, but it's like we're just expected to just accept it without much background or much backstory whatsoever. We have this really cool scene with Mario and Luigi where Mario is paving the way for Luigi so that they can get to a client on time. But that scene with the dog, what? Terrible writing. You can add sitcom-like things in sitcoms, but when it comes to a movie, please. Write a movie. There are other ways to show that Luigi is scared of things, and the fact that he was just scared of this dog, I didn't translate well at all. I didn't know what was happening, and I just sat there, arms crossed, eyebrow raised, thinking, what am I even watching? Chris Pratt's Mario really is just okay. They don't really do anything on their own. They're kind of just told and kind of gaslit into doing things throughout the entirety of this movie. Mario kept saying that brothers are stronger when they're together, but they're never together in this film. In fact, isn't separating them supposed to make them learn a lesson, make them stronger individually so that they're even stronger together? Mario continually goes at it alone, granted to save his brother, but in the end, Luigi is the one who somehow learns a lesson even though he's done nothing. We'll talk about Luigi in a second. And Mario is like, bruh, see, I told you, but bruh, you're going at it alone. Even in the very end, you chose to go at it alone because you wanted to protect your brother. But again, your storyline could have been good. Luigi spends the entirety of this movie feeling bad that Mario isn't there to protect him. Literally, that's his whole arc. He is captured so fast and he is sad that Mario isn't there to protect him. Not that he can't do anything on his own or that he can't provide his own safety. No, he's sad. Not that he's captured, but he's sad that Mario isn't there to protect him. But he's not mad about it. He's just, woe is me, accepting death, basically. He doesn't even talk to the other inmates. Oh, no, he just sits there. He just sits and does nothing. The prison scenes exist to be humorous, I think, but the jokes did not land. A lot of people are like, oh, the blue star was funny. I thought the blue star was stupid. We've seen this before. We've seen it all before. This movie is cliche as frick. The jokes in this, for me and for the rest of my audience, didn't land at all. Parents were massively uncomfortable because their kids were listening to this star be just completely deprecative, insanely sad, and very, very not subtle about death whatsoever. What would have made better arcs in this movie is if we had seen Mario be a little bit of a bossy big brother to Luigi, totally disregarding what Luigi wants and forcing Luigi to do things Luigi doesn't want to do. Continually see this dynamic, this big brother versus little brother dynamic. Then when Mario and Luigi are trying to save Brooklyn, it could be a little bit of both their faults because Luigi could finally be standing up for himself because he's just that afraid and he just doesn't want to do this because he doesn't want to do any of this with Mario because Mario is such a not good brother. He loves his brother to the point where he becomes a helicopter brother. And Mario could get angry because Luigi isn't doing what Mario wants him to do for his own protection. So by the time Luigi gets captured, it's more of an emotional weight as they get separated, and the last things they probably said to each other was, well, maybe I don't want you as my brother. See, it's really not that hard to come up with good character arcs. What also would have been better is if we could have seen Luigi be inside the haunted mansion for way more than a few seconds before getting captured. We could have seen him struggling with his fear, fighting his fears, getting over all the things that he needed to get over before getting captured by Bowser, setting up lessons that he could recall and learn later on in the film. By the way, it was super annoying that the Koopas always knew the Toads' plans, and the Toads always knew Bowser's plans, and they were just going back and forth, like, oh, we're gonna do this, oh, now we're gonna do this, oh, they can do this. I'm like, well, yeah, of course, you told us that they could. It was so ridiculous. It's like the writers kept writing themselves in a corner and not sure where to go, and thought, oh, they just know each other's plans somehow, and this is the perfect way to go. Anyway, in my version, Luigi then gets captured after spending some time in the haunted mansion, learning a couple lessons here and there. Honestly, what could have gotten him captured could have been a moment where his fear got the better of him, and that's why he's sad that Mario wasn't there to protect him in that moment. Maybe even making him a little bit miffed. So when Luigi and the Kongs and the Penguins are all captured, Luigi could stage a coup or give a pep talk that gives him more agency than just being the male damsel in distress. Thus also, by the time we get to the third act, Mario could still push Luigi back and not let him help, causing Luigi to finally step in at the very end and protect Mario instead, making Mario realize that brothers really can do anything when they stick together. That would have been a much better film. Both characters would have learned valuable lessons, valuable family, sibling, brotherhood lessons. But instead, in this movie, we got no lessons learned. None at all. Peach's backstory was weak. The writers clearly had no clue what they were gonna do for her or what they were even doing with her. So they literally wrote that into her backstory. She remembers nothing. She only remembers arriving into Mushroom Kingdom one day and, like a Mary Stu, got everything down, but she wasn't a Mary Stu. She did fail. She had failures. She was really cool. I liked Princess Peach a lot. Her backstory is just bad. I understand why Peach kept Mario around because she thinks that she might have been a human, but why didn't she try venturing out ever, you know? It just seemed so weird. It seemed so weird, but you know, it's fine. I'm not the writer of this movie. It actually would have been nice to see a mirrored sister version of this with Daisy, if Daisy had been included. Oh, well, that would actually have been better if Luigi and Peach had been captured. If Peach was in the haunted mansion with Luigi somehow, and they both go through this haunted mansion ordeal, interacting with each other, learning lessons, they both get captured, and it's up to Daisy and Mario, the uptight ones, to rescue their siblings. That also would have been a better movie. Bowser is such a silly threat. He simply wants to marry Peach, and Peach is like, nah, brah. So he literally puts her in this ultimatum that she cannot refuse so that he would agree to marry her. Sorry, so that she would agree to marry him. Question: how are we still entertaining these problematic storylines? His Peach's musical number was all Jack Black, and that was, is, and forever will be insanely cringy. It was not funny. No one laughed. Even when you got to the peaches, I actually chuckled a little bit because I was like, okay, you got me just a little bit, but now you're taking a little, you're taking forever to end the song. None of the kids laughed, none of the parents laughed. No one laughed, especially when it came up in the second post-credit scene, but we'll get there. Oh, wow, look at that, we're there. Let's talk about that post-credit scene. And no, not the reprise of Bowser's Peaches, but I guess since we're talking about it, I guess we are. The reprise was insanely dumb. Some of the people who had stayed behind to see a potential post-credit scene actually got up and left. They did not stay for the whole thing. They're like, we're done. We are done. They groaned and they left. When that toad hit Bowser's cage and Bowser kind of flipped around, I thought that meant that Bowser was gonna lose his power-up and that he was gonna escape the cage. Because honestly, he should have lost the power-up and escaped the cage. That was a pretty hard hit, and when Toad did that, I was like, come on, man! Audibly. But again, nothing happened, so I thought the whole thing was such a waste of my time. But no, let's talk about the second post-credit scene. The one with Yoshi's egg and Yoshi hatching. Honestly, this post-credit scene should have been in the tag. This should have been the tag. That tag with the blue star should have been at the very end. It would have been a callback to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It would have been for the deep cut reference people who understand what that means, because honestly, the average moviegoer, we don't know what that means. We don't know what the star is. The star was just there and very, very sad and depressing. And for it to appear at the very end in a tag like that, why not use the Yoshi egg instead? Something that everyone recognizes, something that everyone knows what it is. Marketing at its basics. By the time we got to the second post-credit scene, I was the only one left standing. I was the only one there. A lot of people said that they already saw Yoshi during the film and the pack of Yoshis running, but clearly that wasn't meant to be the Yoshi. This egg is supposed to be the Yoshi. I don't know if there's only one green Yoshi in the lore, but there's honestly a ton of the same colored Toads and a ton of the same colored Koopas, so why not the same colored Yoshis? I mean, there are the same colored Yoshis all throughout, but I don't know if green is particular to only the Yoshi. But since this movie is doing a lot better with fans than not, I think a sequel is absolutely doable, and we're here to break down, or at least theorize, what could happen in the sequel. Honestly, I don't really know what the Blue Star is going to be about. Maybe they're hinting at a Super Mario Galaxy movie or a Super Smash Bros. Movie somehow. It very much seemed like a Super Smash Bros. Movie. Wannabe at least. But I do think they're gonna try to introduce Yoshi in this dinosaur running around Brooklyn kind of ordeal. Who left the egg there? Where are his parents? Who knows, because this movie barely explained anything to us at all, including how those pipes travel the multiverse. Anyway, that was it. Short and sweet and to the point, but not really short, but I hope it was sweet. Be sure to check out my spoiler-free review. Let me know in the comments anything spoilerific. This is yours to do with what you want. Have fun. Gladly discuss what you wish. My social media links are in the description below. Please check them out. Check out my website. I am a freelance graphic designer, photographer, and writing consultant. So if you have needs in any of those areas, do let me know. And I will see you next time. You've just been Montified.